Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would show you how I pick up the stitches along the edges of my mitered squares to add a new square, because I've been having some fun, guys, let me tell you. I just posted some shorts recently and I did a time-lapse video while I was picking up some stitches on my blanket here, and I was getting ready to add a new square. Well, I got a comment from someone that said, "Can you slow down?" So, I mean, you know, I was doing it because it was a time lapse and set it to music because it was a time lapse. But since that person asked, I thought, you know, I might go ahead and do a little video and show you guys how I do that. I'll do another more of an introductory video within the next day or two, and I'm going to share some of my whips with you guys. I'll give you a better look at this blanket and talk to you about things I've got going on. But for right now, this is just going to be showing you guys how I pick up the stitches and add on to my mitered square blanket. So what I do is I pick up 20 stitches on this, like on the left side of one square, and then I pick up 20 stitches on the right side of the square next to it. So we're going to put a square right here. And how I do that, let me make sure I've got you guys in frame here. You see how there are little V's along the edge? The way I get that is that I always slip the first stitch when I'm knitting, and then I knit through the back loop on the last stitch. And when I turn, I slip the first stitch, and when I get to the end, I knit through the back loop. So that is how I get that to have a nice clean edge with V's that you can actually go in underneath like this and pick up. I think that's the first one. It's kind of hard to see with this yarn. I tried to find a good edge to show you guys what I'm doing, and I chose a white fingering weight yarn just so that it would be easier to see. But then I take it and I pull it through the V. You see that? All right, so that's one stitch picked up. And let's go ahead and do the next one. I go in underneath the next V, and I go in under both legs. We want to make sure we have a long enough tail here so that it doesn't come unraveled. And then I wrap it and I pull it through. So there's two stitches picked up. We're going to go ahead and do that all the way down the side. 3. You might be hearing my dogs in the background. They are tumbling around on the floor next to me, playing and having a good old time. Just going to do this slowly so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. You see how I'm going through both legs there. And if you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to actually, hang on, guys, calm down. Oh boy, hang on guys, I'm going to pause the video. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm glad that the camera I'm using right now has pause on it. That way I could just pause the video and restart it. But anyway, what I was gonna say is if you guys would like a more in-depth tutorial on how to actually make the mitered square blanket, let me know down in the comments and I can show you exactly how to get started and get it going. This is a little harder to see here. I'm trying to see where the V actually is. It almost looks like there's... there it is. But, yeah, my dogs were just getting ready to get a little out of control over there. So I'm actually watching my daughter's puppy right now while she's staying in her dorm at college. And, I've had him for a couple of months already. It's a little Pomeranian, and he's about 6 months old. So he gets into everything. And then I have a Chihuahua and a cattle dog that I got from a rescue from our local SPCA. And they all get along pretty well, but every now and then the puppy kind of gets on my dog's nerves and they start kind of getting a little too rough with him. So I put him in his crate so he could take a nap. And hopefully we can get through this little tutorial. So let's see how many we've got so far. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's see, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're supposed to be picking up 20. Sometimes it's a little difficult to see where you can pick up 20. So what I might have to do is go back and pick up a couple more, like right up in here. Try to pick one up right there between these two little bumps, and maybe squeeze another one in somewhere down here. Let's do that. So what are you guys working on? Have any of you made this mitered square blanket before? I found the instructions to make it several years ago, and I've been working on it very gradually. Just whenever I have extra sock yarn, I'll add on to it. So it's really a long-term work in progress. But yeah, let me see how many we've got now. So we've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think I'm going to slip this. I'm using one of those, I think it's a 16-inch. Yeah, it's probably a 16-inch cable. So, and I don't even remember what size needles these are. They might be a 2. I will find out. It's been so long, I've just kept it with the project. I have just been keeping it all together and completely forgot what size needles I was using. But I should have left a longer tail so that I could have picked this up easier. We're going to have to go in through here and draw it up, and then put it back on this needle. Okay, so that should be 19 stitches there. And then I should probably try to find another spot to squeeze another one in somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot here with the previous. I know some people don't like tying knots, but I do, just because I do not want my blanket to unravel. Not after all the years and hard work that I've put into it. But yeah, I have tons of ends to weave in later too. I should have been doing this as I've done, like as I knit it, right? Oh my goodness, look at this, guys, where I've changed colors on different squares. It's going to be a nightmare. I should probably take a day or two or a week and just go and try to weave in the ends of all the squares that I've done so far so that I won't have to do that later on. But what I think I'm going to do is, what we're going to, because on the back side, we're going to pick up one stitch here in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in here, and I think I'm just going to add another one like right here, because it's not going to make a difference. And we need to have 20 stitches on the right side and 20 stitches on the left side. There we go. Now, and see, there's still going to be a spot where I can pick up a stitch and add a stitch on the back side, because we'll need a total of 41 stitches to create the mitered square. 20 stitches on this one, 20 on this one, and then we turn and we're going to knit across and create an increase right in the center so that we'll have an odd number and we'll have 41 stitches. But let's make sure we've got 20 now. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yay. All right, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing up this side. Go through the legs. And I'm actually knitting by looking through the viewfinder here. I mean, I'm looking at my phone screen. So this is kind of tricky. I'm not even looking straight at my work. I'm looking at the work through my screen and trying to do this. So see, I'm getting a little, oh, there it is. Getting a little confused here. There we go. One. Going under these legs. Where is it? Can't see it. 2. 3. And if you guys missed my previous videos, I do have 2 other kind of, well, they're longer than shorts, about 8 to 10 minute long videos that I've done so far. One where I showed you how to cast on, and I actually did that at the ocean. I went down to West Cliff Drive here in Santa Cruz, and I sat on the cliffs, and I did a little tutorial and showed you guys how I cast on. So I'm going to probably do another tutorial on how to do the knit stitch coming up pretty soon here. And then my other video that I did recently was sharing a cowl, well actually 2 cowl patterns and a shawl that I've designed. And they were designs that I did for Knit Crate, and the rights actually reverted back to the designers when they went out of business. So yeah, so I've relisted those patterns on Ravelry. Now see, this is where it looks a little, it looks almost like there's 2 V's here, but it may only be one. So I'm going to go ahead and do the one that I see right here. Okay, it is only one, I think. And I don't know if you hear Chase. He's my cattle dog. He is fussing and whining on the stairs, wanting me to play ball with him. He likes for me to throw the ball up the stairs, and then he runs and catches it and drops it back down the stairs, and I throw it up again, and he runs and catches it. But, so I may need to take another little pause here to go play with him, and then we'll be back and do the backside. But what I want to do real quick is count. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're halfway through this square, and I want to see if I still have 10 V's that I can pick up. We've done that one, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay! Okay, so this won't be hard. I won't have to go in and try to add any stitches on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it again. I'm going to finish picking up the stitches here, and then I'm going to play with Chase for a minute, and I'll be right back, guys, and we'll do the back side, and I'll show you how I increase in the center. All right, be right back. Thought I would just show you my crazy Chase here. He's waiting to play ball. You want to play ball, Chase? What is that? You want to play ball? It's getting kind of nasty, isn't it? Want to play football? Look at him. He is just so concentrated on this ball. That's all he wants. Ready? Catch. Oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. And then he throws it to me. Had to pause for a second, guys, but I'm back. Just to throw again. Ready? Catch it! Good job! And then he's gonna, yep, did you see that? He just tosses it back to me. All right, guys. Hey, Chase. Hold on. All right, guys. I'm gonna finish playing with him. I'll be right back. After, whoops, yes. Okay. He's like, I want to play ball, Mom. All right, guys. I'm going to finish playing with him, and then we'll be back and finish that square. All right, so we're back. We are back, and I've got 2 stitches left to pick up here, so let's go ahead and do that. 1 and 2. I decided to show you the last couple of stitches just so that I can show you what I do when I turn the work. So let's make sure we've got, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yay! And then on this side we've got 5, 10, 15, 20. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to turn it. And, oh boy, this is getting kind of big. But, so then when I do start on the back side, and every time I turn it, what I do is I take the yarn like this. Like I said, I'm watching through the camera, through the screen. And I slip that first stitch, just like that, slip it. And then I take the yarn to the back, and I go ahead and knit across. So that counts as 2 stitches. The slipped one counts as a stitch. So there's 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to finish knitting to the center, and then I'm going to show you how I create my increase. Alright, so we've got 1 more stitch to do, and then we're at the center. So this is 20. This will be number 20. Because we knit 20 stitches, or we picked up 20 stitches on the back side, so then we're knitting across 20. And then this float right here, you see that little float? Yep, get out of the way. You see the float right here, the white strand? We're going to pick it up and put it on the left-hand needle with the front leg aiming this way and the back leg aiming to the left, and we're going to knit it through the back loop, through that back one. So we're going to go in between the stitches, between the legs, and go in right there, and we're going to knit it. You see how it comes through like this, and then slide it off. And do you see how it creates a twisted, how it's twisted like that? That will keep it from creating a gap. There won't be any gap there when we knit across on the other side. And that keeps all of the joins really tight. See, there's no gaps there. So now I'm going to go ahead and complete knitting across, which will be 20 stitches on this side as well. And I'll be back when I get to the last stitch, and I'll show you how I knit through the back loop. Okay, so I've knit 17 already, so this is 18. For some reason this one feels twisted, so I'm going to turn it around. There's, whoops, and it slipped off, so we're going to have to do it this way. There's 19. Okay, and then 20, the last one, I'm going to also knit it through the back loop. So you go between the stitches on the right hand side into the back, just like we did in the center. We're going to knit it through the back loop. And that creates the V's on the edge. All right, and yeah, oops. Oh, that's right. Get that out of the way. See, it's going to be a nice, oops, it's getting blurry, but see how it's going to be a nice clean V on each end, on each edge. So, and that is the only time we do an increase, just to get to 41 stitches, because we need that for an odd number. There won't be any more increases, but now we're only going to be doing decreases, and the decreases will only be on the right side, on the front, and the decreases are going to happen in the center. And as you know, we knit 20 here and 20 here, so when we come across to do our decrease, every other row is the decreases. The back side is always just going to be knit. That's it, just straight knit across on the back side. The front side, every other row, when we do the decreases, we decrease also the number of stitches that we knit. So the first time we knit 20 on each side, and we have that one in the middle, so whenever we come around and we decrease on the right side, we're going to knit 19 stitches, which is going to leave 3 in the center, and that's where we're going to do our decrease. And then it'll be 19 stitches that we knit on this side. Then we'll turn, we'll knit. Then when we come back to the right side again, we'll knit 18 stitches and then decrease on the middle 3. It'll be a double decrease, and then 18 stitches that we'll knit. Turn, knit across. Then when we get to the front side again, we're going to knit 17 stitches. And every other row it'll be 17 and then 16 and then 15 until you get down to like 3 stitches, and then you just double decrease on those and bind it off. So yeah, I didn't think I was going to actually show you guys how I did a whole mitered square, but I might as well. We're at 22 minutes, might as well go ahead and do it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and knit 19 stitches here, and when I get back, I'm going to come back when I get to the center and show you how I do the double decrease. I'll be right back. Oh, before I do that, I also wanted to show you again, don't forget, on the first stitch, we always slip it like this to the right needle, and then we take the yarn to the back, and then we start knitting, because like I said, that's going to create your nice V's and you won't have those bumps, and that way you'll be able to pick up the next square easily and go in under the V's. Alright, I'm going to knit to the center and I'll be right back. Alright, we have knit 19 stitches on this side, and now we're to the center 3. And how I do my decreases, I like it to have this, I know some people have like a thicker spine on theirs. I like this nice thin little spine. So what I do is I slip the first 2 stitches as if to knit. So you come across both of those stitches and go in through both of them as if to knit, and slide them off your needle, and then you knit the next stitch, and then you take your needle in under the first 2 that you actually slipped, just like that, and we are going to pass those over the stitch that we just knit, if I can get a grip on it. Sometimes it's a little tight, but we did it, and slip those off. That's our first double decrease. So then we're going to knit 19 stitches across. And I will come back when I get to the last couple stitches, and we're going to knit through the back loop again. Alright, so I have knit across 16. So here's 17, 18, and then 19, because remember we've only got 19 stitches on this side now. And we go through the back loop. Slide it off, and as you can see, it creates that nice little V edge. So we are going to turn it again knit all the way across. I gotta untangle this yarn because it's getting a little too tight. So now we've got 19 stitches on each side of our decrease. And like I said, on the back side, all we do is knit. And then when we get to the end, we will knit through the back loop and we'll turn. And since we knit 19 on each side previously, then the next right side row will knit 18 on each side and do our double decrease in the center. But now remember, we're going to slip this stitch, but you don't want to have it like this, because if you slip it and the yarn is coming around this way, it's still going to create one of those bumps. Do you see that? So you always want to bring the yarn to the front. It gets it out of the way. It removes it from the edge. You slip the first stitch, and then we bring it back between the needles to the back. And see, it doesn't do anything to the edge. And then we knit across. So now I'm going to go ahead and knit across this row. So we are to the last couple of stitches, and in case I forgot to mention, of course, we knit that center stitch on the back side too, so it's just knit all the stitches all the way across. And then when you get to the end, once again we knit through the back loop. Excuse me, losing my voice. We knit through the back loop when we get to the very end. The last stitch is knit through the back loop, and when we turn it, you can see we've got 3 nice little V's. And then when we get to this side, the front side again, since we just did 19 stitches, this time we're going to knit 18 and then do our double decrease on the center 3 and then knit 18. Turn, knit across, turn again, knit 17, double decrease. Knit 17, turn, knit all the way across. So that is how I have been adding squares onto my mitered square blanket. So if you guys have any questions on how to do the actual, like how to get started on a mitered square blanket, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do a tutorial on that too. So we can like knit our first square, and it's basically the same concept, except for instead of picking up stitches, you're actually just knitting them. Like you'll knit 40 stitches and then you'll turn and you'll pick up a stitch in the center on the back side. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I don't want to go any longer because it's been about 30 minutes probably. I might do a little editing, I'm not sure. See if I can get it down a little shorter. But I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will be back with lots more tutorials. I'm definitely going to do a tutorial on how to actually do the knit stitch for beginners. And if there's anything that you guys would like to learn, let me know and I'll try to do a video on it. Until then, I hope you have a great weekend. This is Friday. I'm going to go pick my son up from school, but I hope you have a great weekend and happy knitting. I'll see you guys next time. And if you haven't checked out my shorts playlist, go ahead and check that out. I was having fun. I've been having fun posting those little shorts and setting my knitting to music. But I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.